Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTicks.com. Wow, can you believe we're up to the 7th edition of the Vibe, and each and every one has been really unique in their own way. This one, well, it brings voice calling, Bluetooth calling, and of course music streaming and all of that good stuff to a very ruggedized smartwatch, which may look very familiar to you actually. If you've been following our reviews of the Carbonox line, you'll know that they have a round watch called the Carbonox Spacecrafter, and guess what? It is identical to this, except no Bluetooth calling. So if you want Bluetooth calling in a really ruggedized watch, this may be the way to go. Here's the module itself. Here's the band that comes with it. Removable, of course. Really nicely designed. We have a charging wire, and we have a buying source for you. It's the Zeblaze official store over on AliExpress. And this is the world premiere of the Vibe 7, and it's got lots of great things going for it, including over 100 plus different sports modes. Yeah, anything you can think of that you could do, you probably will find in here. It's got a 1.39-inch IPS color display, and the contrast on this between black and the screen itself is really, really good. It almost looks as sharp as an Amoled display. 360 by 360, certainly nice and crisp. You got all these different sensors in it, a 400 milliamp hour battery, gonna last up to 25 days, with heavy use about 15 days, and I'm seeing great life out of it, even with the heart rate, continuous heart rate set at every 5 minutes, 24 hours a day. It's amazing. Charging time about an hour and a half, and Ip68 Waterproof. These things are rugged and definitely swimmable and getting wet, no problem at all. The voice calling, that's the enhancement feature to this one. That includes dial pad, recent calls, contacts, call rejection, and of course a music player app in there that will trigger whatever you have queued up on the phone to play. You've got all these other different clock features, health monitoring, including breath training. Women's health is in this one. You've got daily smart features, including smart notifications that will push from your phone. You've got weather synchronization in it. You'll see all of that stuff. Active tracking features. You've got sports modes, and here they all are. Look at that. Wow. Now, not all of them are on the watch, but they can be added via the app if you want to. So you can, if you're a big into street dancing, you could absolutely add that to the watch and monitor your calories burned. You got 260 plus watch faces. You'll see a bunch of those. There's 4 default ones, and you can add one at a time from that big selection. These are the languages supported. Uses the DaFit app. We've reviewed that before, and we'll show it again, and some other characteristics of it. So let's go a little bit deeper by pulling this out and showing you we have a book. Yep, for the manual. The Vibe 7 user manual from Zeblaze. There's the DaFit QR code for downloading. Here you go with a few more pages of information with some color brochures on it. We'll page through this relatively quickly so we can get you over here to the review. Some of the different watch faces that are available and notifications that you'll see, and then we move into different languages. Okay, here we go. First, let's examine the module. We've got a little cover on here reminding us it's the DaFit app to download. On the back side, we have a little cover as well. You want to peel that off to expose the different diodes and sensors on here. Now, the watch itself, of course, removable straps. You have 2 buttons on the side. Unlike the Spacecrafter that has another one here, they've removed that, put this little bridge across here that says output, and added dual microphone holes in here. That's on this segment. Over here, it looks pretty much exactly the same with the addition of 2 little slots here, which is where we have the speaker port. So, and it's good and loud speaker on it as well. Other than that, we've got an open and a down, and those are the 2 buttons. Let's put it together. Long press on the top button is going to turn it on. It begins with the Zeblaze logo. a vibration, and it pops into one of the stock watch faces. The last one you had it tuned to, which happens to be this one for me. Let's walk through it quickly. When I pull down, I get all of these different controls you see here. Information about the watch is when you tap on that, known as the Vibe 7, shows you your overall power level. This is where you can change your menu layout, grid, or list items, and this is activating or deactivating vibration. Here's your overall brightness. You can tone it way down like that, or screaming bright. Yep, nice and easy to see outdoors. I'm keeping it, I don't know, about half, a little bit above half for this review. And this is settings. And settings have all these different factors on here. Now, phone on and off toggles the Bluetooth connection to your phone specifically for making and receiving phone calls or for doing playback of music or whatever you have queued up on your phone through the speaker on the watch. And that's activated here, or we could have done it from the upper left-hand corner of the layout of all of the different buttons. Call reset is here. You have a couple of games. Young Bird and 2048 are in this one, so you got some fun things you can do with it. An onboard stopwatch down to hundredths of a second, and of course you can do a lap time with it right there. You can't leave it per se though. It's pretty much locked, so it won't run in the background, but when you turn it off, you can go out of it, come back into it, and it reset itself. You've got alarms that you can set and a countdown timer that you can also change whatever you want to from the different configurations and start that. It'll vibrate when it's done. You got your menu view again. Now, we already saw how to do that, and brightness we've looked at. Vibration on and off, and theater mode now will automatically dim the screen and set it up so that it's not going to be annoying if you were inside a theater, or likely if you're sleeping at night. It's a good thing to have. Reset the watch, power off. By the way, this is the only way to turn it off. Long presses on either of the buttons doesn't do it, so you got to learn that you got to go into settings, into power off in order to actually shut the watch down. There's the about we already saw in the app download. That's the QR code for the DaFit app, and you can scan it from here, or what I recommend is get it from the Google Play Store. We'll show you the app in just a moment. So there are the settings that you get to from here. You also will have another way of getting to them. Now, I can swipe over to the right to go through a bunch of screens right on here like this, or I can press the button to do that. When you get to the first screen, it shows you step count, last night's sleep time, and activities that you've done. Each of these are selectable again, so I can tap here and I see my steps, calories burned, distance traveled, a little bar chart, goals, and the last 7-day trend. All of that's available right here. Then, if I come back here to sleep time, it shows me my light, my deep, and my 24 hours. Now, it's not working well. I'm not sure why. I wore it for 2 nights. Not really pleased with the charts and the division of information that I'm getting. But it just could be a quirk in how I'm wearing it. But you do get all of that information. And then this takes you into all of the activities that you've done and your results in all of those. So you have all of the multitude of activities. Indoor cycling, for example, this will start it up for you and run it right there. And then you can dive out of this, and it says it's too short of a time to record it, which is fine. Anyway, that's all here in that third section, okay? Go to the next screen, and whoa, wait a minute. Call records, dial pad, and contacts is what's coming up. That's interesting. Normally, it's get a little icon about the phone. But if you actually have the phone turned on, you don't get that icon. You get this, which is going to show you basically all of this stuff. And you can come in here to the dial pad, place a phone number in here, and make a call directly from the watch through your phone and out into the world. And of course, you got your contacts that you can transfer over through the app to your watch as well. So that's that page, that page. Now we get into health. We've got 3 areas: heart rate, blood pressure, and blood oxygen, each of which you can tap and go deeper. After you tap it, then it's going to go into attempting to record that information. You notice it's not going to read thin air. You actually have to have it on for it to work. You have the reading will come through your low and your high, and it's also going to show you your last 24-hour heart information. Very, very cool. Do the same thing now for blood pressure. It'll measure your systolic, diastolic, and it'll come down here and show you your last 7 days history with a breakout of your average across all of those. Do the blood oxygen, and it's using red diodes now, not the green ones, and it's going to ask me to re-wear it again. It'll give you your blood oxygen reading and show you your last 7 days and your average on that too. And that's all on this one panel. So we started from the wow, okay, there we go, from the watch face. And we went over through all of those things, your phone calls and your health, right? Now we get to weather. This is the weather in your area or whatever area you set up in the app. And it's going to show you forecast information. A shutter that you can turn your phone into a remote camera, so you press the button to take the picture. You're not going to, unfortunately, see the picture that your phone is seeing here. You have to position it however you want your phone, but you can trigger it with the button right there. And then there's the player for doing the remote playback information from your phone. Let's test out the speaker now. I have one of my old videos in here, happens to be the Carbonox Spacecrafter, which again is identical to this one, except it does not have the ability to do what we're doing right now, and that's playback music or video.
Now we get into all of the different controls. There's my power level, and literally
I can play it, pause it. Cool. Now you notice here, when I swipe back down, this looks exactly the same. Is it out of focus? Sorry. They look pretty much exactly the same, except that upper left one that I'm pointing at right now. On this one, it's got the phone. It toggles the phone off and on. On this one, it's the theater mode, and it's been replaced and upgraded on this one. So that's a nice addition to it. Remember, we can go over here and press to get all the way over again to the player.
So great. Bluetooth is connected.
You hear the sound?
With a tethering process.
It's coming out right here.
Easy to do once you download the
So I can mute it by putting my finger on it. Real easy. If I have it on, like that, pretty much silence it. It's good and loud. It works great for telephone calls and such. And on this side, the speaker or the microphone for your phone calls is under the word output. Pretty cool. So you have Bluetooth calling and Bluetooth music or video playback from your phone through the watch.
You guys need to see reviews of these watches. You really do.
Now we have one more. Come over here and you've got a breathing exercise. You start it. It's going to say inhale, exhale for 8 times. It vibrated just then at the top. It's going out. And it vibrated again. So you can either watch this and regulate your breathing with what you see, or you can just close your eyes and trigger your breath on the vibration. Really nice, really quick. It doesn't take long, but you'll be amazed at how it can just kind of help settle you and help you relax in traffic, in line, wherever you are, whatever's going on. See, we're halfway through already. So that's a thing that you can do with this watch as well. Tap here, it'll take you right back to the watch face. Again, tap here, and it'll cycle you through all of those screens. There's no back button. Back is right from here. In terms of watch faces now, this is one of the stock ones. Here's another one. It's kind of nice. Interesting three-dimensional aspect to this. And another one. Now, in the app, you have the ability to download custom faces. I've tried a few of them. You can only download one at a time. Here's another stock face, just to show you. You can see how it's really an edge-to-edge screen on this. It's a very well-designed watch. Here's a typical one with a background picture that you can modify and change and have a digital readout. And here's a simple one that I downloaded that I like at night. Happens to be exactly the 2 hands on top 3 Boom, there we go. All three hands on top of each other, which is no when you're showing off a watch face, but luck of the draw, we got the exact time to be 10:55. See, digital right there, analog right there, and there's so many more watch faces. I'll show you those in a minute. So you can pick whichever one you like. I particularly like this one and another one because you get some extra data on the watch too. Now, let's swipe over this way and we get into all of the information, all of our linear display of all of the different apps in here. We can change that to a round one, which I'll show you in a minute. Here's your overall step count. We saw that. Last night's sleep time, measuring heart rate, exercise, phone, blood pressure, blood oxygen, weather, shutter, player, and breathe. All of those you've seen in the different ways we've navigated through the watch. So there's really nothing else here that you need to get into from that perspective. When you go into setting, though, now, here's where we had a look already at all of the different settings that the watch had, including timers, alarms, stopwatch, game, that they put in settings. I don't know why. They're not really settings. So there's really not a reason you need to come this way if you take advantage of what you have here, and of course, cycling through the pages this way as well. Now finally, if you'd like your display of the apps to be in a grid view as opposed to the list view, you can simply click that button and here you go. Everything is in a circle and you can tap on any particular one you want and it'll immediately switch it over there. It's actually a lot faster than the linear display of this data. Just like the Carbonite Spacecrafter that looks and works identical to this one, it also uses the DeFit app. Come back here. We're going to launch right into that from the Google Play Store and just quickly show you, because I go into a lot more detail in several of the other watch reviews of this app, that you get these different panels in here. You're getting continuous heart rate. You're getting individual heart rate if you want to do that. And of course, your last night's sleep time and step count are all in here. You come down further, you get blood pressure, blood oxygen, and any outdoor activity you've done. And a while back, I did do a particular one using the phone, and it gives me a Google GPS track on here. That's my house right there. It's zoomed way in, and this was the track that we did. Now, it wasn't with this watch. This watch doesn't have GPS, but it was using the GPS here in the phone. But just to show you how the app responds and handles the outdoor activities that you can get to from this last panel. This is where you can set up the watch itself when you first connect it, and these are the various watch faces you have access to. We just showed you all of these, and then there's the face gallery. So if I go into the gallery now, this is an example of what you've got. Notice they're all football-based, soccer. They are thematic, and the World Cup's going on right now, so that's the big thing. You also have themes from different, what you call seasonal ones, and then they're constantly changing and updating these. So any of these that you like, you pick it, it'll transfer it to the watch, but it erases the one special one that you already put there. Sadly, it doesn't archive these, so if you had a really nice summertime face that you wanted to hold onto and use in the wintertime, if they cycle it out of here and it's not available for you to download and you've replaced the other one, you're out of luck. Some of the apps have a special place after you download them that it will store them in the phone, and you can add them at any time you want to without having to go to the server and download them, but not this one. This, of course, is the one where you can change the picture to whatever picture you want and upload your own picture if you want to as well to customize the look and feel, and you do that right here with something that you've already got or from the camera or from the album. So you can set and create your own watch face on this one as well. Now back here, we've got overall notifications, alarms, the shutter, your contacts, and other information, which has got your selection of time, units, do not disturb. You can do sedentary reminders, continuous heart rate. You saw the chart. You can turn it off if you don't need it and want to get longer battery life, or up to every 30 minutes. 5 minutes is the most frequent, and it's pretty active. It doesn't eat a lot of battery because this watch has a really nice long battery life to it, several days. So you can probably leave it on 5 minutes. Here's where we controlled the music. You saw the playback of the video, which was considered a music playback. Set your language, auto lock. No always on this watch. You can go as maximum of 30 seconds or as low as 5 seconds. And of course you can reset it. Quick view is to twist your wrist to see the time. You can set a time zone on that so it won't annoy you at night. You got reminders, heart rate warnings. You turn that on, set what your upper limit is, and it'll vibrate if you exceed that. You got weather in Fahrenheit or centigrade and wherever in the world you want it. And ladies, you got a physiological reminder, including the calendar here, where you can see where you are in your cycle, and all of that information is available, as long as you're registering in the app as a female. And then, of course, here's where you set all that stuff up in your profile, and birth date, height, all those pieces are there. Set your overall step goal. You can tie it to Google Fit and basic about the app. And that is the overall DeFit app that works with this watch. So my overall opinion of the Vibe 7 is it's a pretty decent watch. It does what it does. It does it really well. It's on par with the Carbonox Spacecrafter, which if you've watched the reviews on that, it's a hot seller. It is very hardened and waterproof and structurally sound. Well, the same body basically on this one. The center knob has been replaced with this little jumper bar that says output. And of course, you now have microphone and speaker in here, which we didn't have on the original Spacecrafter. So that's an enhancement to give you the full capabilities of a smartwatch and the communication capabilities to do your phone calling. Where can you get it? You can pick it up directly from the Zeblaze official store over at AliExpress. Got a link in the show notes for you. And check out for some coupon discounts. There's always some associated with the buying page, and I may have some other ones that can stack onto that. So check the notes before you buy. It's the Zeblaze Vibe 7 world premiere, they say. First time we've seen one of these out that includes Bluetooth calling, so exceptional opportunity here. We'll see you again, gang. Thanks for watching.